Hãy đến ngay với chúng tôi này, phải start English, cùng vào lớp Anh ngữ 5 sao này. We got what you need.
Well, for your questions, I answer is, besides English, I am learning Vietnamese because Vietnam are my motherland, so I need to know Vietnamese perfectly.
Alright. If you could learn any other language fluently besides English and Vietnamese, which language would you choose and why?
I think it's French because I love to come to the Euros and see the romantics of Paris.
Tell me more. What is it about Paris that attracts you?
It's got so many delicious foods and the people are very friendly to come to there. And if you go to Paris, you will got a nice art in the museums.
And do you know any French words?
I think no.
Okay, you should learn how to say hello in French.
Bonjour.
Hey, yeah, well done, very good. Okay, thank you, Nhật Anh. I'm going to pass my microphone to a judge, and they're going to ask someone else a question.
Let's see. I want to ask everyone so many questions the same. Ming, can I ask you a question? Ming and everyone on the panel, I have been very, very impressed with everybody's English. Congratulations, that is a big achievement. Yes. And so I want to ask you, Ming, particularly, how do you practice English besides going to classes?
So the way I practice English at home is when I watch movies and working with my family. I used to watch it with or without subtitles to practicing the listening. Or sometimes my family sit down together and talk in English so we can improve our pronunciation and speaking.
I can see how your English got so good. If you could talk to a friend who doesn't like learning English, what advice would you give to him or her?
My advice would be if you learn English, there's many advantage because when you go study abroad, it is a very useful language because it is known widely.
Okay, thank you very much, Ming.
I have a question for Hannah. I would like to ask you what you think is the most difficult part of learning English.
I think there are two difficult things when I learn English. First is English have too many words. I think it's about 300,000 words. And the second is the pronunciations. It's very hard to learn.
So how do you try to overcome those difficulties? What do you do to try to make it easier for yourself? So for example, remembering vocabulary. You say there's so many words, there are too many words. So how do you handle that problem?
I will divide that hard word by 2 or 3 because each part maybe have different meanings. Like bicycles, bike means 2, cycle means a circle, bicycles mean 2 wheel.
All right, very interesting. What do you think is the best part of learning English?
The best part of learning English is that I can communicate with everyone around the world. I can have a better chance, better life for my families and my children.
Thank you.
All right, my question is for Chen, yeah? Yeah, Chen, okay. Chen, do you think everyone in Vietnam should learn English?
Thank you for your question. In answer, I think that everyone in Vietnam should learn English because if they learn English, they can have a better job and better life because they can communicate with others. They get a chance to work with foreigners and go like study abroad or working in another countries. So they get a better chance to like have more money, and so that's a better life. Yeah, I think right now English is like the international language. So if my country study English, everyone can communicate. So Vietnam will have like we can make more friends with more countries and out there in the wide world.
Great, I agree. What could you do to improve the level of English in your country?
Oh, I think in my country, some poor people, they don't have the money to go study English, or they bored and they're not interested in English. So I think the really important thing is we need to educate them. We need to tell them about like the benefit if they learn English. So I think if they know it, they will spend a little time to learn English and get a better life.
All right, thank you very much, Chun. That's my last question to you, and I'm handing the microphone to Anh.
All right. Can I please talk to my friend? Hi, I would like to ask you a question about culture and holidays. You know, in Vietnam, we have many wonderful and very fun holidays, such as Lunar New Year or Mid-Autumn Festival. Is there a festival or a special event in another country that you are interested in?
I'm interested in the festival called La Tomatina in Spain.
Can you tell us more about it?
So the festival is celebrate to congrats for the new harvest season. So it just is celebrate in the mid of July. So it is celebrate in a big square. Everyone gather there. They throw tomatoes at each other for like 1 hour.
Okay, that is fascinating. How did you learn about this festival?
So I learned about it through my English teacher.
All right, thank you very much, Khuyên.
Wow, there you are. What do you think you should do before you visit another country? How should you prepare?
It is essential for us to prepare before a visit to another country. So the first thing we should understand is their culture. And I have met some cases that the visitors come to my countries and they don't know what our culture is, so there will be some misunderstandings between people and people, and so it is very vital for us to learn their culture before going to their countries. And the second one is to know some simple sentences. And like, for example, you have to make an accommodations, and you have to say it to the reception, so you have to communicate with them. You have to use their language, or you have to use the global language, which is English. So at least you have to know English.
So what kind of negative effects do you think it could have on a person if they don't prepare in the ways that you've suggested?
I watched on TED Talk about a person who get caught in a foreign country for just paying, like having a, how can I say it? Like having a, what I meant by here is a tourist go to a historical place and they wear the simple clothes like in their countries. They get caught 10 minutes later. The reason why they get caught because that costumes in that countries are not allowed to wear. So if you don't learn the rules, the culture there, you will not follow them. You will sometimes have mistakes on your clothes, your behavior and stuff like that. So it's also related to crime.
And just one more quick thing. For a foreigner coming to Vietnam, what do you think is the most important thing that we should learn about Vietnam before visiting the country?
One thing that we should learn about Vietnam is the traffic. The traffic is very, it's like a spider web. So in order to go to Vietnam, people have to have a very brave. People are very brave since they have to tackle with the traffic on a daily basis. So in order to stay in Vietnam, you will have to learn how to drive your motorbike and how to control your traffic since we are getting on the way.
All right, thank you very much.
My last question is for Chung. Chung, imagine you have to give some advice to foreign tourists visiting Vietnam. What do you think they should see or do while they are here?
Well, imagine they go to Hanoi. We should invite them in place accommodation for them first. Then go them around the center of Hoàn Kiếm district where there are many historical and culture landmarks. Yeah? And should give them details about that structures or the famous landmarks.
All right. So a global citizen, someone who can learn from other cultures, but I think they're also someone who understands the value of their culture. What are the good things about Vietnamese culture that you think other countries around the world could learn something from?
Well, our Vietnamese people is good for their qualities. They would ready willing to help people if they are in trouble or in disasters. Just not like the other Western people who are just live by their own and not taking care about the other guys. Yeah, and also we have to say that in this COVID-19 crisis, we are the Vietnamese doctors have rescued the 91st patient who is the most affected by the disease.
Yeah, I agree. I read the newspaper from my country now.
He's now cured and he's very heavily affected, and now he's cured and can go back.
They talk about Vietnam in my country in the news in very positive ways because of what they've done for the fight against COVID-19. So I think you should be very proud. Thank you, Dr. Chung. That's the end of my question.
Thank you.
So that's the end of the first part of this discussion. Another important thing about being a global citizen is that you have the skills to live and work in different countries. I know you haven't had the chance to go and live and work in a different country yet. I don't think so, anyway. But we're going to ask you some questions now to see if you do have those skills and if you know a lot about the skills that you will need. So, Dr. Chung, you were last. So for this round, I'm going to ask you the first question, if that's okay. Can you tell us about someone from another country that you admire or that you think is successful?
Yeah, I see this really hard question. Yes. Not anyone can face. I can know that the founder of KFC Corporation. I don't know his name. I don't remember his name.
Why do you admire him? What do you know about him?
No, I not admire him. I just find the end of the news. He has to spend nearly his whole life on in the poverty and hardship. But he's one time he's decided to end his life. Yeah, but he has we were taught that why should he should do make a type of fried chicken that he make at the restaurant to the guests and using his own spice. Then he make he has set down his new business, and he became succeeded. He eventually became a millionaire when he was 88 years old, and he finally died 2 years after.
Right. What do you think we can learn from that story?
Well, just don't care about how long you have to take to do something. Just need your own your passion. Do anything you can, and the success will come for your what you do.
Eventually, when you're 88. Thank you very much, Jen, for your answer. I'm going to hand over to Nok An.
Thank you. I want to talk to Jen actually. Okay, hi Jen. I would like to ask you a similar question, but I would like to hear which person from Vietnam do you think is successful?
That's an interesting question. I think that Phạm Tuân is one of the successful people in Vietnam. So he is a great man that's chosen to train the astronaut, and he is the one that we call him the intercosmos, the cos astronaut. So in his life in 2014, he is the first Vietnamese that goes to the moon, and so I think he's successful, and we can learn from him that don't give up when you meet the obstacles, because that's a good chance to learn how to overcome them.
And what does success mean to you? What is being successful?
Being successful for me is believe in yourself, go after your dream, and don't give up.
Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
So, Nhật Anh, it's been a while since we've heard from you. So I would like to ask you about in the future, so maybe before you start your YouTube channel, would you like to study abroad?
Yes, I do. Because if I study abroad, I can have new education better than Vietnam, so that I can develop my country, become a better place.
And how would you do that? How would you make Vietnam a better place?
I will study hard, and when I get tired and disappointed, I always think about my initial dreams to try harder to make Vietnam become a better country in the world and in the Asia.
Okay. As a YouTuber, how do you think speaking English will benefit you in your future career?
Yes, because PewDiePie is my hero, and if I want to meet him, I would like to study English very well to look at him and say, I am your next generations.
All right, thank you very much.
My question is for Nam. Can you pass the microphone to Nam? Thanks, Nam. All right, now, what do you think the benefits of going to live or work in another country are?
I think when we go to another countries, we can know their cultures, histories, and of course, we can have a better jobs, better works, better university to live in, and also we can improve my, and also I can improve my English skills.
Is it something you would like to do when you're older?
When I'm older, I think I'm gonna get back to Vietnam to provide more technologies to the hospitals.
What do you think would be the most difficult or challenging thing about going to live or work in another country?
I think when I go to another countries, the culture shock is a very hard thing to move through, because Vietnam is different from the cultures of Western cultures. It's very hard to start go through.
All right, thank you very much. Now I'm going to hand over.
I would like to ask Bao a question. Hello, Bao. I would like to ask, what is your favorite subject at school?
My favorite subject at school is English, since if you will learn English, you will have firstly another language to speak, and secondly, you will have, since the English is a global language, if we learn English, you will have the chance to create more relationships with the overseas, and also there's thirdly also the most important thing that if you do high score in English.
Okay, and does being able to speak English well help you study other subjects?
I have to say that I'm in the middle of the fence, because there are two sides of this problem. The first one, if the subject that is written in English, it definitely benefits me since I've learned English, I've skillfully learned that. And however, on the other side, English is a communicating language. We will only communicate with others. But if you learn mathematics, but you're good at English, so it's kind of weak.
Okay, and how do you think that you are going to use English in your future career?
My future job is a singer, so being able to communicate with others should be the most important goal. So English, I have mentioned before, is a global language, so everyone uses it. So as a result, I have to know language fluently and to speak them with confidently. So, in order to communicate with others, and it will benefit me a lot.
Okay, thank you, Bao.
Mai Khang, I'd like to ask you the same question about your favorite subject in school. So, which subject do you enjoy the most?
I like English and biology the most.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit more about why you like biology?
I like biology because I like exploring about new things of the world. Everything on this earth is diverse. There are so much things to explore, so I love biology. But I will have more knowledge about the world, and somehow I can help. I can improve the environment by my knowledge.
Okay. So if you think that biology will be important for your future career and your dream, do you think it is more important than English, or do you think that English might be more important?
I think every subject is important, so you have to know everything equally. So to become clever.
That thing.
One thing that I would like to choose and improve is our science lab. I'm learning the Cambridge program, so it's doing a lot of activity. So I think a new lab with fully equipped with new technologies would be better, because we can do the activities more fluently and for better experience.
And if you could go and study in any country around the world, which country's education system would you like to study in?
So a country or an education system I would like to study in is France. My mom is a doctor, and I would like to go there and learn how the cultures and learn the food there. So I could, in my dreams, I could improve what I've learned.
All right, so thank you very much. You've all had the chance to answer 2 sets of questions on these topics. That's the end of our panel interview round. I'm sure you're really tired now, yeah? You've got lots of energy, very good. Okay, you could talk all day. We have to go and make a really difficult decision about the winners now though. So that's the end of the panel interview. Thank you very much for your thoughtful answers to the questions.
5 star, 5 star, 5 star English, 5 star, 5 star.
Five Star English, một công ty thuộc tập đoàn giáo dục Atlantic